as well as gentlemen, Papa Boris is back for some more Hearthstone arena action. I was hovering around 2,000 gold for a while, but I had a couple of bad arenas which made me sad. Let's see if we can make Papa Boris happy again by continuing on this warrior run in style. I think if this warrior run goes badly, we are taking a break from warriors. Battle Rage nerf is pretty significant in my opinion. It's enough that I would pick the card, but only against like mediocre cards. Let's take a look here. I'm going first. Millhouse Mana Storm. Whirlwind doesn't seem that good against hunters, although it could be used like with the bad bomber. You know what? Fuck this. I'm just gonna ship all this back. These are not good cards. I don't want to play them. Let's see if we can get something normal. Okay. Well, crap. Now the Iron Beak Owl could be really good. Like if he plays an early buzzard or an early hyena, I could actually silence it and then trade with it all in one card, which is fine. Although what I found as a hunter is you don't necessarily want to play your buzzards and hyenas early, because you just want to play them all in a row later in the game when you have more mana. So a lot of times hunters are steady shotting at turn 2, but it doesn't actually mean they have a slow start necessarily. Alright, well obviously the owl doesn't get played right here. Let's pass the turn. Armor up. Next turn we can try to play the Frothing Berserker or the Razorfin Hunter, kind of depending on whether this turn is a steady shot or not. Alright, he's got Swarm. Well, I think in light of this, I am actually going to play my own Swarmy card, because mine trumps his. And if anything survives here, I can play Frothing Berserker, get him really big, and trade all this stuff in next turn. Question is, what has he got for 3 mana? A coin and the Ascension Shield Master to save his stuff. Multi-shot! Wow! Coin multi-shot to kill my 1/3 drop? That is all the way aggressive. I don't know if that was a good play. He might just have a bad hand. Alright, Korokron Elite. Not the most impressive right here. These two guys can trade into it. I'm not that keen to trade my gold tier 4 drop for a crap tier 2 drop. So we'll just put this guy down, see if he has a deadly shot for removal. If he does, that's fine. We'll just drop another big thing next turn. These removal cards are costing him all of his mana, so I'm fine with it. In a few turns, the Stormwind Champion would be nice, or the Gorehowl, depending on how things are going. What you got for me, Mr. Muksoto the Hunter Spellbreaker? Ah, good answer. Put a body on the board. Silence the ability. Fair enough. My Berserker cannot quite kill the Spellbreaker, but it does die to it. If I play the Spiteful Smith and kill off this Merfolk, Spellbreaker gets value out of my card. I'm actually going to go ahead and do the Korokron Elite, because it trades 1 for 1 with the Spellbreaker. And I'm going to kill his Merfolk and survive against his other Merfolk, so I got a little bit of value out of this card regardless. It sucked up a silence, and it got to kill a creature and live to tell about it. Secret Keeper. Got any secrets to back that up? Oh my gosh, you do. Well played. Oh, you have a lot of secrets. Wow, you are really secretive. Okay, I think this might be the time for the silence. I mean, that 3/4 is pretty big. Let's see if one of these is a snipe. It appears to be. And now let's find out if one of these is a freezing trap. That would actually let the Merfolk or that guy come back into my hand. Alrighty. Thank you. I will play a Frothing Berserker for 5 mana someday, sure. Alright, Silver Moon Guardian seems good. It trades against both these creatures and survives. So even though he can pop the Divine Shield cheaply, I think I'm still getting perfectly good value out of that card. And I have a really high life total, so next turn I can just play Gorehowl, and if he doesn't have a Swamp Ooze, seal up the game, pretty much. Alright, the Wolf Rider is an interesting card, so you can trade off half of this card, because this came for free from another one, and then the Wolf Rider, he's still got 3 mana to work with. He's going to play Raging Worgen. Alright, well, it's time to bring out the Gorehowl, I think. I've got plenty of health. Let's put this into play. Kill off his Enrager. So I've got a lot of life, he's got very few cards, and I've got really good cards, so things are looking pretty good. I've even got a little taunt to buy me some life if life needs to be bought. I'd say everything is fan-fiddly-tastic. My opponent's best chance to win here is to drop really, really big creatures and make it unpalatable for me to use Gorehowl. Julian Yeti is close. I wouldn't say it's quite big enough. Alright, all things considered, I'd say that was a pretty good turn for me here. Let's think very carefully about this move. Ooh, Slam Execute. That is totally worth it. So we're going to play the Frothing Berserker first. We're going to slam this. Execute it. Kill off the Secret Keeper, taking just a single point of damage. Alright, we've got a 4/4 here who's only going to get bigger. We have a taunt to protect our life total. And then we also have the ability, of course, to start armoring up sometime soon here to counter his hero ability. It's a really nice thing about the warrior. And that'll be great. Steady shot. Okay. Well, he's at 30 health, but he is in trouble. I think we always need to armor up from this point forward. Let's put a taunt in case he has some kind of charging nonsense. And let's put this guy down just to put lots of stuff onto the board. And swing at my opponent's face. Oh god, I forgot for Explosive Trap. Misdirection. Well, all things considered, I guess I'm glad that that was the secret. I should have attacked first, because Explosive Trap would have killed 2 of my cards that I played. But, given that that ended up being Misdirection, what is that, an epic secret? No, it's just a rare. Things worked out pretty well. It really didn't do that much for him here. Alright, this is good, because if he has 9 mana and 3 cards and the best he could play is that thing, it suggests he doesn't really have good cards to play. Alright, he's steady shotting, so still has nothing good to do with his time. And he's passing the turn. Alright, well, we really need to be armoring up each turn. Let's actually trade this guy in for a card. I think cards are more valuable than a 2/2 on the board at the moment. Also, I am dealing damage in the form of the Frothing Berserker. Alright, we're gonna trade our other guy in, get a card. This guy swings for a whopping 10 damage. Millhouse Mana Storm. He's big. Sure, we'll do it. It's a bit risky, but hunters don't really do the whole burn spell thing, and even if he does have burn spells, he could have played them anyway because he's got 10 mana and only 3 cards. It's likely that he can just play his whole hand out regardless here. Alright, the Young Priestess's health buff went to the Cult Master, making her a bit sturdy, which is kind of nice. Iron for Grizzly is not really that good. Timberwolf is really not that good. And Unleash the Hounds, aha, that is good. That allows him to kill off my Frothing Berserker. Interestingly, he chose to do that and let me draw a card off of him. I don't really think that's a good play. He's killing my Cult Master anyway. Should have just done that first. And he's picking off my armor. Alright, can I win this time? Let's think. This is 4 plus 5 is 9 damage. 9 plus 6 is 15. This is 2 of my mana. I can get 16, 17 out of this. Oh wait, no, I think the way to do it is like this. Aha, we're gonna do this, this, he charges. Yeah, that's a pretty easy kill. Whew, good thing I caught that in time. You never know what a hunter's gonna have. Whoa, Nelly, that's only 5 damage. Alright, well, I don't think there was a way to get the kill there. So we're just gonna pass the turn, hope he doesn't have anything crazy with his 1 card. I don't think hunters can deal 13 damage with 1 card. He's got a secret. Right. Pretty sure there is no secret that can win him the game. Let's go ahead and swing with my cheapest creature. See what we got here. He did have an Explosive Trap, so that one mistake I made earlier, not remembering Explosive Trap, could have been very costly. Luckily here, I didn't have to pay for my mistake. That's one problem I do make, is I forget about Explosive Trap. And we're going to win the game. Yay! Okay. So we lost the first game of this arena, but the other 2 games are pretty strong wins. So, let's see if we can take a sip of good luck water and keep the streak going. I've started a new stat sheet for this new patch because I do think that the Blood Rage nerf is really significant. And a lot of my wins in the old pre-patch world were with Warriors. I played Warrior 7 times out of 36 arenas in the last patch. So, I wanted to start a new stat sheet, but that means that my stat sheet is starting off with 2 losses, which is kind of sad. Okay, Frothing Berserker is great. Razorfin Hunter's great. Slam, might need it. Owl, I might actually need it. So we're going to ship this back, see if we can get a 2-mana creature to play down first. Alright, we got it. Direwolf Alpha, that's great. So we can play the Direwolf on turn 2 and this on turn 3 as a preliminary plan, depending on what my opponent chooses to do. Leper Gnome, okay. Well, that is actually a really good play for my opponent because I don't really want to lose the wolf to it, but whatever, man. If you have Millhouse Mana Storm and you don't coin him out on turn 1, you're not doing it right, kids. You're just not doing it right. Priests actually aren't even the best at killing him. I mean, Shadow Word, Pain, and Death don't hit him because he has 4 attack. Holy Nova's useless. Greater Fire, maybe he could play and kill Millhouse with. But other than that, I've just cheated out a 4-4 on turn 1. Alright, looks like that is going to be the case. So what we're going to do here is the following. Let's kill the Leper Gnome. And let's actually slam the Priestess to preserve Mr. Mighty Millhouse. The Mighty Millhouse Mana Storm. He dies to a Holy Smite. But it looks like my opponent doesn't have that, so I get to play Frothing Berserker. And swing. Alright, at 4 mana, I would actually be willing to trade Millhouse for some creature, because it is eventually going to die to a Holy Nova anyway. Like, I will happily throw Millhouse into that. It doesn't even die, actually. Wow. Well, that seems like a pretty good deal. Against Priests, the difference between 2 health and 1 health is pretty negligible, so I really don't mind killing off one of his top-tier creatures for this. Now, we've learned time and time again that putting this weapon into play is not necessarily the greatest thing. I don't want to put the Wolf and the Grunt, though, because then they would just both die to Holy Nova, so I'm just going to put one of them down, armor up, and swing for 5. Pass the turn. So if my opponent, for some weird reason, cannot kill Millhouse right here, and I'm swinging for 10 damage next turn with my 2 dudes, well, plus 2 from the Wolf, 12 damage, my opponent's going to be in serious ass trouble. Working Infiltrator, not really the answer he needs here. Healing, oh my gosh, my opponent must have some kind of crazy slow hand here. Yeah, he played a Northshire Cleric like on turn 3 or 4, so he clearly just top-decked that. Can I actually win? Let's count. This... Oh no, Heroic Strike is 2 mana. I don't have enough mana. But let's just do a check. If I played this in Heroic Strike, that'd be 6. Plus 10 is 16, 18. Okay, so not enough damage. But it's actually close enough that I'm actually going to put this guy into play and swing with my weapon. This is getting to be critical territory for my opponent here. Especially when you consider that after he kills off Millhouse with his Worgen, the Frothing guy gets even bigger. Argent Commander, very good card for my opponent here. He can finally kill off my Frothing Berserker. Does he live? Is that actually enough to let him live? Let's see, I got 6 damage, plus 6 is 12 damage. Oh my god, I'm going to win. Kids, always look for the win here. This is very important, because my opponent actually could come back from this. So the fact that I get to kill him right now is quite significant. Alright, turn 6 victory, wow. With some opposition, no less. That was a pretty good draw. Woo! It's a good thing I mulliganed 1 card, because that allowed me to get Mighty Millhouse on turn 1 with the coin. So I'm definitely happy I took Millhouse. Remember, it was Millhouse Deathwing or the Nosdormu, the 9-mana 8/8 that gives players only 15 seconds to make their turns. I actually lost a game once because of Nosdormu. My opponent played it, so I couldn't count out my turn carefully. I thought I could kill him, but I couldn't. So I just swung past him. Turns out I only got him down to 1 health, and then I lost. So the 15-second time limit was actually really important there. They let my opponent win the game. But anyway, I think you can see, though, why Millhouse was the best pick in that pack. The Deathwing would have just been a dead draw, whereas Millhouse let me win the game. Alright, well, this is a pretty interesting pack. This is a good card, but it's slow. I'm just going to ship back everything that costs more than 2 mana here and just try to maximize my odds of having early plays against Hunters, because against Hunters you do want to preserve your life total a bit. These are really good cards now. I'd say the Arathi Weaponsmith is nice, because if my opponent does play like a turn 3 or turn 4, you know, Hunter or Buzzard Hyena combo, I can just drop the Weaponsmith down and nip the Hyena in the bud while also putting a 3/3 body down. And the Young Priestess is actually playable on turn 1 against Hunters. So it does a lot of things. It can deal damage to his face. It might stop him from playing a valuable 2-mana creature. Does all kinds of good stuff. So that was a good mulligan decision by me. I'm going to pat myself on the back. My opponent, is he AFK? I don't think he's even looking at his cards. This could be a free win if my opponent doesn't come back to the computer screen soon. I don't think anyone takes this long to make mulligan decisions, and you can see your opponent like mouse over the cards. When they do it, he's not mousing over anything at all. It's a bit of a long time limit. I honestly wish they'd shorten the time limit for mulligans, because, like, honestly, how difficult is it to pick what you're doing? Alright, there it is. That was it. So we're going to see now if my opponent is actually at his computer or not. Oh, no! He's mousing over his dude. You saw that red outline there. Okay, he's here. He just was up getting a sandwich or something. Ah, taking a sip of good luck water. Hopefully the good luck water brings me good draws and regressive continuations. I don't know what you wish for, what you toast for when you play Hearthstone. Okay, maybe my opponent is actually AFK. I swear I saw the red outline over his dude, but he is really not looking at anything right now or making any plays. Let's close the gates. The gates are closed. Okay, he's here. You just saw him mouse over a couple of cards. Man, is he like one of those griefers? Is he just gonna like do this all game? Because if someone's AFK and their timer runs out, then the following turn they have less time. But this guy's just sitting around like a clown. Okay, Millhouse Mana Storm. I could trade 1-drop for 1-drop, or I could Heroic Strike, kill the wolf, keep my 2-guy around, try to get some value out of her. If I don't play Millhouse now, it gets worse and worse and worse the longer the game goes on. But alright, we'll kill the wolf and keep the priestess. Don't know if that was the strategically correct decision, but let's keep up the board control here against my friend the hunter. Stop him from killing my 1/2/1, and also not let him have a bunch of free spells. Thing is, if I like, you know, killed the wolf and I played Millhouse, he might have like a free deadly shot or even an explosive shot. He could play out all of his secrets. I mean, it's a little bit risky when it's not the first thing you're doing in the game. Alright, he's going to coin out here. Let's see what he gets for it. Razorfin Hunter, all things considered, that's actually not too bad, because I will now play the wolf, buff my creature. See why buffing is so good? Now I've got board control. My 2/2 beats his 1/1. Pretty happy about things. He used his coin for that as well. I do have to watch it, because Houndmaster would be a good card here. It would let this guy get buffed to be a 3/3. So I'd actually like to kill it next turn. This is a bit unfortunate. So this guy trumps my wolf. We have a trumper game going on here. Now I could drop the grunt, but no, I think that's a bit greedy. We're going to do this. We're going to kill off the little boarling, and the wolf dies, but, you know, at least it did something before dying. It allowed one of my creatures to trade up, which is fine. Tile effects, the hunter. So he can swing into the wolf and swing at me if he wants to. I think the taunt is totally irrelevant on that guy. So that was just dropping a 2/3 on the board because he had no better plays. And then he's going to kill off my wolf. Fair deal, sir. Fair deal. Gotta be a little bit careful how you do this. The right way is you kill off this guy with your axe, so that your 3/3 can kill off the 2/3. If I had just carelessly killed his taunter with my 3/3, then my axe wouldn't have been enough to kill off the Sun Fury Protector. Well, here this is great, because this is one of the rare occasions where you can actually feel pretty good against multi-shot and explosive shot. So the two main hunter removal cards here, not doing very good. Deadly Shot has a 50-50 shot at killing the Gorebashi, but might not. Young Priestess. Actually quite good here for my opponent. That's really, really good, because previously the Gorebashi could have hit the Novice Engineer and killed it and enraged. Now it doesn't quite kill it, which is sad. Still don't really want to play Millhouse, but the Grunt might actually be nice with the Warsong Commander. Yeah, it seems fine. Let's do the Warsong Commander. Let's do the Grunt. Sounds like a song. Let's do the Grunt. Do, 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 do. No, we're going to enrage the Gorebashi this way. We're going to trade the Weaponsmith in for the... Well, do I have to? I don't even have to do that. Hang on, I can just swing past. Let's get aggressive. The Novice Engineer has to swing into the Grunt twice to kill it. So, we're fine here. That would be a great song. Let's do the grunt. Do 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 do. Do the grunt. Do 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 do. All right, this is all things considered not terrible. I can just trade my Gorebashi in for it, so that's fine. Might even have a better move. Let's see. How risky do I want to be? I can play this, smack for 2, smack for 3, take 6 damage, go down to 13 life against a hunter. 15 after I armor up. But it does let me keep the Gorebashi around. Then I'm going to kill the Novice Engineer, swing for 7, get to hang down to 14. Alright, we'll do it. Whatever. Well, hang on. Another option. I could silence it, just ignore it totally. 7, 10, 12, 14. Can't quite kill it. Millhouse is too risky here. Or I could just trade. You know what? Let's just play it safe, guys. Let's just kill that thing with my guy. Let's get the axe. Let's kill the Novice Engineer. Just take 1 point of damage. Armor up. I'm still hitting him pretty hard. Let's not go too crazy here. Oh, and I even charges. That's right. So yeah, let's not be too nuts. Let's just do this. This seems like a pretty good way to do it. So I've got 10, 12 damage coming in, so I'm threatening the win. And if he leaves this guy alive, you know, my stuff charges. I'll even play Mighty Millhouse. You know, a 4/4 charger for 2 mana is pretty good. This guy could even get in there, do some charging. Alright, he's got the charging rhino. Does he have another beast with which to kill off the Warsong? He does not. My opponent made a mistake. He should have played the Buzzard first, then the Tundra. So one of the weird things is because even then, the Buzzard would still be allowed to attack, even though it was played first. Okay, he's going to do that. I might be able to win, though. Gorehowl looks pretty good. Let's see. This is 4 damage, 4, 6... 9, 11, yeah, I could also Gorehowl probably, 5 plus 7, yeah, that's also 12. Okay, we're just going to do it this way, though, so we get to use Mighty Millhouse. Wow, why did everything zoom around? They still haven't fixed that bug. I'm so amazed. They haven't fixed, Jesus, they haven't fixed the creatures swapping around bug, or the creatures popping into your hand, freezing in the middle of the screen bug. So maybe this was like a bit of a rushed patch. Perhaps they were just like so pissed off about Battle Rage. They were like, we are in a battle rage about Battle Rage. We have to fix it right away. That could be it. Okay, we're up to 4-1, which is totally respectable. This is, of course, where you often hit roadblocks, is at the 4-win mark, and it's kind of what happened to me in my last couple of arenas. But hope perseveres. Perseverance perseveres. And we live on and fight another day. A sip of good luck water will carry the way. Thrall, oh wow, Thrall the Warlock. That is some Warlock name, right? Thrall, maybe am I thinking of, oh, the Shaman, right. Thrall is the Shaman. Yes. Okay, we're going to keep Millhouse and coin him out on turn 1. It's a bit risky against Warlocks because that means a Shadow Bolt would kill it, but still, you know, I spend a card, he spends a card, it's all good. This is a bit early, and this... it's okay, like I can play this, smack something, execute it, but you know what, let's actually just try to get some creatures here. That would be the nicest thing. Alright, Frothing Berserker's pretty stellar. Now, do I actually want to coin this out? That's sort of the thing. If I coin it out, that gives him like 1 less card that he can draw to try to kill it. But it's using my coin. Yeah, alright, I'll let him draw 1 more card, which might actually matter. But as long as he doesn't draw like a Siphon Soul with like that extra card that he drew, okay, or those 2 extra cards that he drew, this is still totally fine. Alright, so let's see. If he just, you know, plays a Siphon Soul or a Shadow Bolt or something for free and kills me, then basically I traded a 2-mana card for a 3 or a 6-mana removal card, and that's a pretty fair trade. It'd be a little bit difficult for a Warlock to get like really, really great stuff out of it. The worst is when you play this and like your hunter opponent gets like free animal companions and stuff. Alright, so he's going to waste... Oh no, he's not wasting the life gain. He's going to heal back from the previous life tap and drain life against this. So this is already a 2-for-1 because he's spent 1 card to do it. And okay, he's going to do that. And Mortal Coil. Ah, he gets the card back from the Mortal Coil. So at the end of the day, he was fine. He put a body on the board for 1 of the damage, drew a card for 1 of the damage, and then drained life for the rest of it. So okay, my opponent got to, you know, live the dream. I am going to use the coin here, though. Let's play the Weaponsmith. This is super good. Anytime you can play a creature on the board and remove an opponent's creature from the board, it is super good. So here, trading is 2-2 for my 3-3 is just utterly fantastic. I have 6 cards on the screen plus a weapon. He has 6 cards on the screen. He's first to play. I've spent my coin. I'd say we're about equal here. He's got the initiative, but I have the board advantage. Let's see what he's got for me here. No Blood Imps. Oh, I'm so happy that there's no Blood Imps yet. This is the card he just drew. Might be a Blood Imp. Alright, looks like he's going to play that guy, which is fine. I can kill it pretty easily. And I will. Boink. A loink. And Frothing Berserker might have been tempting there, but I think I'm actually going to do the Silver Moon Guardian. It's a little bit sturdier than the Frothing Berserker. I'm not so much concerned about being aggressive at the moment as I am about really just making it hard for my opponent to make good plays. So next turn, I can still, you know, play Frothing Berserker, and there's probably going to be a lot of trading going on, so that's just totally fine by me. Do the grunt. Do, 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 do. Okay, we're going to stop singing that song. So 2/5 of his mana was Novice Engineer, and 4/5 of it now is drawing cards, so he's building up quite the card collection. Novice Engineer is actually not bad on this board because it sort of baits my Divine Shield or my 3/1 Fragile dude. So either way, it's like kind of good for him. Now what I could do here is a couple of things. I could play the Arathi Weaponsmith, use the weapon to kill off the Novice Engineer, pop the Divine Shield against the Voodoo Doctor, swing for 3. Another option is to play the Abomination. Now if I play the Abomination, his creatures first of all have to attack into it, and second of all, they can't actually kill it without help from his cards. Now he's going to have 7 cards, plus he can draw 1 more, try to get, you know, removal for it. Shadow Bolt would kill it, but it would kill his board, pop my Divine Shield, kill my Weaponsmith. That's fine. We're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and pop this guy down and just swing past for 6 damage. As a Warlock, you have to be careful because your hero ability damages you, so when you play against a Warlock, especially when your hero ability gains life and his drains life, it's nice to get, you know, 6 damage in while you can. This could go badly. There's risks to this play. He might play like a Dread Infernal here, kill off my Arathi Weaponsmith, and, you know, pop my Divine Shield. Actually, oh my god, Dread Infernal would be freaking amazing here, wouldn't it? He could swing in, kill it. No, the Divine Shield. No, he'd pop the Divine Shield and then take 2 damage. Okay. Alright, he's got the Charger, so he can actually kill the Abomination, although that makes me wonder why he played the Summoning Portal, because it's just going to get damaged. Looks like he's going to go for it. Yeah, so it's a bit of a weird play. He knows the Summoning Portal is going to die on my turn, because the Silver Moon Guardian survives. I think that might have been a bit of a strategic misplay by my opponent, because he's out of mana for the turn. Unless he has a Soulfire. Aha, does he have a Soulfire to kill this? Then that's smart, because then this thing survives, and he's good to go. No, he's just going to play Pine-Sized Summoner. Interesting. Well, always kill Summoning Portals, folks. They need to die. Can I play the... I could play the Weaponsmith, but then I can't play the Frothing Berserker. I think I do want to play the Frothing Berserker here, which means then that to kill the Pine-Sized Summoner, I'll use Heroic Strike. So the Frothing Berserker gets pumped. Summoning Portal dies. The Frothing Berserker gets pumped some more. We'll play the Young Priestess. Hopefully the health will go onto the Berserker. Yep. Now it survives Shadow Bolts and Soulfires, which is a huge boon and a huge difference to its survivability. Hellfire would kill 2 of my creatures, but it would the Frothing Berserker would survive and get pumped up to 7, so my opponent would need to have some follow-up to finish it off, if that's what he's going to do. Stampeding Kodo kills my Priestess. Okay, Stampeding Kodo, very good card, but all things considered, that could have been a whole lot worse. So I will take that, and I will like it. Does he have anything good for 2 mana? If not, I'm going to have a pretty good turn coming up. At the very least, I can play Weaponsmith, smack this, attack in, and then this guy gets up to a 7/5. Smack for 7. It's pretty good. Ah, he drew the Soulfire. Boo! He drew after playing everything, and it still was good for him. Okay, well, what I'm going to do here, I think, is... the silence is not that good right now. I'm going to drop a Grunt, just to get in my opponent's way. I'll also drop this guy just to put a body on the board. I'm not going to whack this Kodo just yet. Let's go, and I don't want to need to... Well, do I want to attack into it and kill it? Nah. Let's just try to race him out here. He is in a bit of a dire situation because He has to stop by Grunt Town. Let's do the Grunt. No, I'm just kidding. I'll stop for real. He has to stop by the Grunt Town, but then this is like 8-10 damage plus any amount that the Berserker got beefed up. So like, actually could be like 10-12 damage. So it's like he's almost on death's door here. He really needs removal. And even if he has removal for the... Wow! Silencing the Grunt. I guess he must have other removal for the Berserker. Because why not silence the Frothing Berserker, make it a 2-5, a 2-4? If the Kodo can't kill it in its current state. Does he have another Soulfire for it or something? He's going to draw a card. That was a very weird play if he doesn't have a Soulfire for this right now. He doesn't have it! Oh my gosh. Well, I think he just loses. Doesn't he? 7, 9, 10. Oh, no. Whirlwind. Epic pro play right here. Woo! So that buffs my Frothing Berserker to seriously frothing levels. And I'll get the killing blow myself. Alright, we're up against a good game against Thrall the Warlock. Thrall the Shaman's identical Warlock twin. And we're up to 5-1. Woo! Okay. Well, Frothing Berserkers, in case you didn't know, is a really good card, as we just saw. Let's take a sip of good luck water here. Tasty, tasty good luck water. And the Arathi Weaponsmith also earned her keep. I've seen on the forums some people saying things like, you know, warriors have bad cards. I don't know what they're talking about. Warriors have great cards. Fiery War Axe, one of the best cards in the game. Arcanite Reaper, superb. Warsong Commander, common, wins games, absolutely re-freaking ridiculous. They just have really great cards. And then the Frothing Berserkers are rare, but still. Now, here I have to choose between Greed or Smartness. The smart thing to do is to mulligan everything except Heroic Strike to try to get some early plays. The greedy thing here is to just mulligan the Stormwind Champion, keep the It Master, try to get a combo with the Cult Master. You know what? The odds of pulling that off are so small. I'm just going to keep the removal to kill off Northshire Clerics and other nuisances, but actually try to get some real plays here. And I failed utterly, because now I can kill something on turn 2, but turn 3 I miss a beat. Well, turn 3 I could coin out a Korkron, I guess. Okay, yeah, so maybe I'll be... removal on turn 2, and then coin on turn 3, so I can play my 2-4 drops in a row. That might be the best thing I can do. This on turn 3 can be insanely strong, because on turn 3 there still might be things your opponent's playing that only have 2 life. While here, Heroic Strike earns its keep. 3 toughness is pretty solid for an early game creature, but Heroic Strike says, no probalo. Let's kill that thing. If he plays something that has more than 2 health, I could Korkon Elite and kill it that way. Alright, Fairy Dragon. Perfect. Important rules thing to note. Very, very important. Just because it cannot be targeted by powers and hero abilities, excuse me, spells and hero powers, does not mean that it can't be targeted by weapons. And it also does not mean that it cannot be targeted by buffs. So, like, this Fairy Dragon, it can be targeted by, like, you know, Dark Iron Dwarf or a Shattered Sun Cleric or some other buffing thing. There's no problem. It ain't got no problem with that. It's totally fine. Alright, well, I've got a couple options here. One, I could slam, execute the Chillwind Yeti. Another is I could just run in my dude, hit him with my weapon. I think what I'm going to do is that, though. The reason being, I'm going to, you know, put this Korkon onto the board and start swinging. The Silver Moon Guardian was also an option, but it dies to Shadow Word Pain, and I don't want to take the risk of losing something to Shadow Word Pain right here. This guy's the magical 4 attack power where priests have a devil of a time killing it. Right, Injured Blade Master. Well, that of course makes me wish I had played the Silver Moon Guardian. Oh no, never mind, he's going to heal it right away. I see what you did there, sir. Now, the Injured Blade Master has the distinct disadvantage of automatically dying to execute. This is not something you get to do often, but when you do get to do it, it's pretty epic. Alright, we're going to play the Silver Moon Guardian here, and then, okay, now we can hope he has no Shadow Word Pains, but even if he does, it's alright. I got this guy still on the board. I got things to do. Light Spawn. Oh my god, my opponent's about to be very angry. My opponent's going to be very angry about that silence that I'm about to drop. Is there anything better than that? Really, there just isn't. Let's go ahead and silence this. Silence is such a good answer to Light Spawn. Now, the thing is you have to be careful about is your priest opponent is not unlikely to have a Inner Fire, which would bring this right back up to a 5-5. So you have to kind of choose carefully. I could, of course, just, you know, kill it with my creatures, but then I'm spending 7 damage to kill this potentially, but not necessarily threatening light spawn. Let's go ahead and just ignore that. We're going to hit for 7 damage. We're going to slam the owl to death. And I think I will play a Young Priestess, because this owl did its job with the silence. This is another thing that dies to Holy Nova, sure. But it's okay, because this did its job, so I'm not really getting card disadvantage. Ah, Abomination, good card. Now, under these circumstances, it's actually, you know what, it's not as good as it is. It's a good thing I actually extended with this Priestess. It's actually really, really good. Because what I get to do now is the following. I can trade in my 2 creatures that were going to die anyway. The other stuff survives. Sure, it's vulnerable to, you know, Holy Nova now. But I can play Stormwind Champion, which is huge. This is a humongoid. And smack him down to 6. So if I draw my Gorehowl, I'll win. I mean, he can heal, of course. But I'm already threatening to win with my creatures. He needs, like, Holy Nova and a way to kill this. Mind Control. That is actually not going to save him. I can just, you know, my opponent maybe didn't know how buffing works. When you remove a buff from a creature, its health doesn't drop. Only its power drops. Which is a bit of an awkward situation. But hey, we got the win on turn 8 against Zeros, the Priestos. And we're up to 6-1. Woo! Alright. That is what we are talking about. That is the subject matter regarding which we have been conversing. Okay, we're up to 6-1. We have a chance to lose, but then still play another game to try to reach the vaunted 7 wins. Honestly, it's not the end of the world to get 6 wins. It's sometimes only like 50 more gold for 7 wins. It's just like not a quantitative difference, but a qualitative one. The extra 50 gold you get at 7 is qualitatively important because it gives you the next arena for free. But if you have a reserve of money, it doesn't actually matter that much, except psychologically. Alright, we're up against another priest. Aimless Gun. I believe I've played this priest before. That's a very familiar name. This hand is slow. Execute is, again, like a techie card. It was good that I drew it, or had it in my last game, but it's not a card I necessarily want to keep. Let's just ship this all back and see if we can get some of our 2-drops and actual removal. Oh boy, well, this is really not a better hand at all, in any way, shape, or form. So we have the silence, it's not going to be relevant for a while. The Acolyte's okay, but it's not, like, you know, great. And then the Warsong Commander, as I've mentioned before, is really a card I'd rather play later in the game than on turn 3. Well, we'll see what happens. I might top deck something good just in time for turn 2. By mulliganing all of the cards, I maximize how much I dig into my deck. Okay, Wolf Rider. Well, I think since I drew a Wolf Rider and I have a turn 3 play next turn, we're going to play Acolyte of Pain here. And try to have a friendly draw fest. Draw-a-thon. You know, Loot Hoarder runs in, he draws a card, I draws a card, everybody's happy. It's all good, right? There you go. That's good. That's great. It's fantastic. Now what he's hoping to do here is run the Worgen into my Acolyte and then engage Wind Fury and attack again. Sadly for him, I have a Wolf Rider. Now, of course, kids, you always want to draw cards first. So I'll play that Wolf Rider and run in. This is, by the way, why Wolf Riders are good. 3 damage for 3 mana that gets stopped by a taunt isn't great, but it is good enough. Next turn, I might just play a Cult Master. Oh, gosh. Light Spawn. You know, I really just do think it's pretty good to silence that. I mean, other options are the following. I could run in my guy and execute. I could slam and execute. But really, there's not much better to silence than a Light Spawn. So we're going to do that. We're going to swing past here. My opponent could, of course, play Inner Fire again on it, but then, okay, then I can slam Execute or run my Acolyte in and execute. Actually, that's actually better. Acolyte Execute is way better. Alright, well, you have a second Light Spawn, sir. Touché. Touché. So what do we want to do here? Well, we could play Frothing Berserker. That would leave me with 2 mana. I could slam this, trade both my things into it, just kill it flat, and get my Frothing Berserker nice and big. It will then, of course, die to Shadow Word Death. Another option would be to play the Cult Master, run in my dude and my owl, and then execute it, and draw a couple of cards. I could also, of course, just run in the Acolyte, then execute it, keep my owl around for 2 damage. I don't know if that's really worth it. Alright, we're going to go big and go home here. Let's basically make my opponent spend half of his mana next turn playing Shadow Word Death. I think that seems just fine. Plus I get to draw a card off of it and everything. Frostwolf Grunt could be good. Now, I know I always say you should draw cards first, but in this case, I needed my card drawing involved killing his stuff, and I wanted Frothing Berserker to be on the board when this was all happening, so that he could get nice and juicy and big. So I just played a 7/4 on turn 3. That seems just fine by me. And I even drew some cards for killing his creature. Pint-Sized Summoner, not relevant. Shadow Word, very relevant. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. You do what you gotta do. Twisted Abomination seems a bit early. I want to play this, but then I have a mana left over. Let's just use up all my mana here. Let's play a Cult... Well, no. Let's play a Kor'kron Elite. Kill this Pint Size, because 1 mana might still matter. Let's play this Grunt. He dies to Holy Nova, but it's okay, because the Kor'kron already killed a creature. I do have really big card advantage here, so my opponent would have to do some pretty epic things to catch up. Mind Control, there's actually not going to be that much good to Mind Control, really. I mean, what has he got to Mind Control here? Cult Master? Frostwolf Grunt? It's not that great. Really, the best thing to Mind Control is this guy, because it charges, so you could use it right away, and basically 2 for 1 for 8 mana, which is not great, but it's alright. Oasis Snapjaw, very big. Not very threatening, but it does kill my Grunt, and live to tell about it. And I want to get a weapon. Not really needing a weapon here. I think this is the time for to put my charger down. Is it? Maybe not. I could play the Abomination. Doesn't seem good though, because if it dies, these two just die along with it. The weapon doesn't seem that good. There's nothing I really want to Cult Master, because I would trade these guys in, but this would have actually 1 health left. I want to save the Execute for something more threatening. So what we're going to do is... Actually, what we're just going to do is fill up the board. Let's save these Warsong Commanders for later. Let's just get lots of stuff down and start dealing damage. So he can kill my Frostwolf Grunt, sure. But I'm still swinging for 10 damage next turn, and I've got outs for his stuffs. He has the full 8 mana here to work with. I guess you could say that Aimless Gun is gonna take his best shot. Ho! Okay, I promise. That's never happening again. Oh man, he's gonna make this guy really big. Is there an Inner Fire coming up here? No! He's either saving the Inner Fire for later, or he's just not doing it. Well, this guy is just legitimately freaking huge. I still don't really want to play Abomination because it kills off 2 of my own creatures. What might be the need here is to play a Cult Master and just 2 for 1, drawing cards in the process, so it's not a disadvantage. Millhouse. Okay, I'm not giving my priest opponent any free mind controls, that's for sure. Heroic Strike could be useful later. Let's go ahead, swing for 4. My Cult Master is totally dead, by the way. But we're gonna play... I can actually play this, try to goad him into killing a Warsong instead of my Cult Master. Yeah, we're actually... I think this is the right time for the Warsong Commander. Not only does it let me deal 4 more damage with my previously summoning Cult Master, but he now has a really awkward choice. He can kill my Cult Master, sure, but then the Warsong Commander's alive, and when you're this low on life, you don't want all of your opponent's creatures to drop down charging. He's gonna kill the Cult Master, though. Does he have other removal, like a Shadow Word Pain? Or Inner Fire to kill that? Uh-oh. Oh no, he's gonna just put it back in his hand. He pointed at it, I thought it was gonna be an Inner Fire. He's just putting it back down. Power Word Shield. Alright, just drawing another card, looking for those Shadow Word Pains. I wish they'd fix this bug. You can actually play the creature, it's totally fine. It's just really, awkward and weird. Okay, so he didn't play down the Light Spawn. Okay, can I win this game? Everything I have charges. So let's see. I've got this. That's 5 damage. This it puts me up to 9 damage. 13 damage. Yep, I've got the win. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Alright, the Mighty Millhouse Mana Storm. Good combo with Warsong Commander. Ba-boink! I guess Aimless Gun couldn't quite pull the trigger. Oh, okay, sorry, that was the last one. That was the last one. All right. Okay, we finally made it up to 7 wins. Took me 3 tries with the warrior to get up here, but we are here. Woo! Now, the biggest gold gain, as I've mentioned, pretty much in every single video ever. You know, just to give you some insight into the mind of Papa Boris. You know, you click that play button, you know that there's going to be some time before the next game starts. So you're like, okay, what am I going to talk about while that stupid wheel is spinning? And then at 7 wins, it's like, why don't I talk about the fact that the biggest goal difference is between 7 wins and 8 wins? That's a good conversation topic. And, yeah, that's what I end up talking about every single time. Man, this hand just doesn't inspire me. Whatever, ship it all back. Do I even have any 2-drops? Like, maybe I should look at my deck to see if I have things to play for 2 mana. Oh, yes, Mad Bombers, the YOLO Bomber, everybody's favorite bomber. Doomlord, I feel like I've played this person before. I might be confusing him for a warrior I played a couple of arenas ago named Rawlord, which is a really weird name. It sounds like the lord of having sex without a condom. Anyway, let's think here what we want to do. I could slam it and kill it, or I could play the Mad Bomber. Let's just slam it and kill it. I don't want to take any chances with the Bomber. The odds, I know I've always said, you know, if you play Mad Bomber and you don't do wacky stuff, you're doing it wrong. But really, the odds are quite low of killing that. I don't want the Mad Bomber to just then die. Direwolf Alpha, alright, he is persistent. We'll give him that. I don't want to play the Young Priestess because she just dies. Yeah, let's play the Mad Bomber now, and if the Wolf survives, I can coin out a Heroic Strike. Do I want to play the Frothing Berserker? Theoretically, it survives. The Wolf only deals 2 damage. This would be this. Maybe I'll just play that. Yeah, okay, we'll play this. We'll play that. Theoretically, it survives. My opponent would need a removal spell to kill it. Like Frostbolt plus Hero Ability would be the whole turn, but it would kill off the Berserker. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with her spending her whole turn killing this thing, because, I got things to play. Silverhand Knight, Stormwind Champion. I just want to make it to the late game, baby. Pretty much any way that a mage would have of killing this, I think, would take up her whole turn. Like, Fireball, Polymorph. The best play here would be a Dark Iron Dwarf. Cone of Cold, interesting. That is a way of doing it, I suppose. Dark Iron Dwarf would have been the best. Pump the wolf, kill the thing. That's the best way to do it. Alright, we're going to kill this wolf. Make my opponent work for the kill on the Berserker. I think the best way to do that... Well, I could play the Young Priestess. Give it +1 health. No, it's dumb. So really my options are Heroic Strike or the Wolf Rider. The Wolf Rider is not great against mages because it dies to the hero ability. So I'll keep the Heroic Strike as it is a cheaper removal spell. And we'll swing into the Wolf. No need to play the Mad Bomber here. We'll just hang on to our coin. Do I want to play the Young Priestess? Alright, I'll play the Young Priestess. Basically what I'm doing is I'm goading my opponent into spending 2/5 of his mana killing this thing. And I'm giving this an extra health, which matters in case of a Frostbolt. So we'll see what my opponent chooses to do. Plus, killing this Priestess would pump this guy up to a 6/4. Blizzard, So this is a fiery a frosty mage. But this actually is still 1 point of damage away from dying to the hero ability, so my opponent's working really hard to kill this thing. Now, this is the ideal time to play Silverhand Knight. You're putting down a lot of power, a lot of toughness, spread up for 5 mana, and if your opponent doesn't have any creatures or any retaliation or anything, it's really great. Does he really have an Arcane Explosion? Oh my god, he had the Arcane Explosion. Jesus Christ, that was terrible. Well, I have a couple options. I could coin out a Stormwind Champion. Then this still dies to his guy. So what I'm actually going to do instead is Heroic Strike, take this time to kill this thing. Oh man, my opponent's catching up. I'll play an Imp Master, start the Imp Army. No reason to play this guy down, he just dies to Flame Strike. So we'll hang steady here. Try to keep creatures on the board. We got 7 cards to his 4, but one of my cards is an Imp, and the other is a coin, and the other is a bomber, so things aren't as good as they look. Crap, I really hope that's not Mirror Entity. Okay, let's swing with our Imp. It's nice to have this to check for Vaporize or Ice Barrier. Okay, good. It's one of those. Ice Barrier, gain 8 life. Really one of the worst cards in the game. Then we can play Stormwind Champion. This will bait any fireballs or polymorphs that my opponent may have, but that will be half of her mana for the turn. The real issue is if she has that and Flame Strike, because she can basically fireball me this turn, Flame Strike next turn, or actually Flame Strike this turn, fireball next turn. That will mean she takes less life. So let's see if she's got it. Ooh, that's an old card from the left. Yep, there's the Flame Strike. Crap, I'm in real trouble here because I don't have any Things that survive flame strikes. Gorehowl's pretty good though. Okay, so the advantage to playing Gorehowl now is I use up all my mana. It's kind of hard to use up my mana otherwise. The disadvantage is that my opponent sees it coming, and if she happens to have a freak ooze, it's just a disaster. I will actually risk being mana tight and play this guy. I will also take a small chance that the Mad Bomber will kill my Stormwind champion, because I really need to put stuff onto the board. Okay, that's sad. So now the hero ability finishes off the Stormwind champion and the Frostwolf Grunt. Maybe I should have just kept this back. That turned out to be pretty unfortunate for me. But basically, if I can rush my opponent down, I mean, I'm dealing, even after this guy dies, 6 more damage. Gorehowl deals 7. I mean, I'm getting pretty close. He's going to choose to do that. And that. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Arcane Intellect, draw some cards. Okay. So my opponent is, I'd say, a little bit ahead now. Alright. Let's see. Silver Moon Guardian, very good card. I will play that next turn. First, let's Gorehowl, get that going. Kill the Mana Worm before it gets out of hand. Kill this thing. Get some life. Man, I should have spent the coin at some point. I now have this coin hanging around, and it's not doing me any good. If my opponent's been saving an ooze this whole time, she will be like a champion card player, because that would be very good. I really shouldn't have played the Bomber. The odds of one of my things hitting the Stormwind champion were pretty good, and that ladder finished it off with the Rifleman. Although with the Rifleman and hero ability, that thing was pretty dead anyway. Alright, Heroic Strike is not as good as it seems because it's combined with my weapon, so I can't actually hurt this thing. Let's just go ahead and play my own guy. Oh, he has a nut. Fuck me, sideways. Oh, God. Well, 2 of them does beat 1. He can basically pop his Divine Shields. Alright, I'm going to pop one of these Divine Shields. Sorry for armoring after attacking. But I'm going to pop one of those Divine Shields to get it off and, you know, help kill this thing sooner. I'm actually in real big trouble because one of my cards is the freaking coin. And another one of my cards is Heroic Strike, which actually is a non-bow with Gorehowl. Plus she can pop Divine Shields for freebies. Oh, fuck me. That's bad. My opponent's gonna do things that way, huh? Is that how you're gonna do it? Alright. Well, Direwolf Alpha is quite solid here. Let's drop it down. Jesus, Mirror Entity. Really? Fuck me sideways. Okay, let's do this. Trade away. Do that. I can't really Gorehowl there, because it pops a Divine Shield, but it's not saving any damage off of me. It just means I'm taking extra damage. Yeah, I might lose this game. It might have been because of that Mad Bomber play, but the Stormwind Champion was dead regardless, so I just didn't quite have enough juice. It was, you know what it was? It was the Ogre Magi Arcane Explosion play. That is what really won it for my opponent, because it killed off my Frothing Berserker, which my opponent had a lot of trouble with, and it also killed off another creature I had played. And then after that, I couldn't quite catch back up. Boo! As well as hiss. Alright, good game, Doom Lord. The Lord of Doom. And let's see if we can take our last chance to get up to 8 wins and get the juicy, juicy gold to make up for our my last 2 off-screen arenas where I lost some mad monies. See if I can get them back. I'm like a gambler. Like, oh, just give me one more spin of the wheel, boss. I can win it all back. Warlock. Alright, Griff Bomber, the Warlock. Gotta say, good names in this arena. People naming themselves well. This is all a bunch of baloney nuts. Let's check back. Alright, Millhouse Mana Storm. Well, that's going down on turn 2. I'm already up to 7 wins. I'm like an old person, like backing out of their garage. I don't even care anymore. I'm not looking back. I'm just gonna live life. Man, I'm just gonna live life. Are you gonna stop me from living my life? No? Well then, I'm gonna live it. Oops. There we go. The gates are closed, baby. Don't play Blood Imp. That is my request. Elven Archer. Okay, as I've mentioned before, I'm very vocal about my dislike for the turn 1 Elven Archer play. I think holding it back and having the 1 point of damage where it counts is way better than just like picking your opponent for 1 damage and putting a 1/1 onto the board. So, does he have the crazy removal? The previous Warlock did a really great job dealing with this. He played a Rifleman, so that was not dealt 1 damage. He played Drain Life, healed. That was the only card he spent. And then he played Mortal Coil, which killed it and drew his card back. So he took 0 card disadvantage in dealing with the mighty Millhouse Mana Storm. I think I do a pretty good impersonation of Millhouse Mana Storm, if I do say so myself. Demon Fire, okay. It's 1 card. Coin. And running the elf in. Acolyte of Pain. And running the elf in. And alright, he doesn't have it. Woo! Okay, so I have options here. One, I can swing with Millhouse, play the Grunt, stop the Acolyte from killing me off. But the problem is, then he actually gets to draw 2 cards with it, unless I execute it. Execute is a destroy effect, it wouldn't draw a card, but I don't want to use execute on an Acolyte. So I either let him draw 2 cards, or I trade in the mighty Millhouse Mana Storm for the Acolyte of Pain. Alright, you know what, you can draw your cards, buddy. Whatever, man, I don't even care. You can draw your cards. You know what, I'm actually going to play the Warsong Commander. Yeah. You wanna kill the mighty Millhouse, you can draw a card, fine, but then my creatures are going to have charge. So what are you going to do then, buddy? You're going to lose. That's what you're going to do. That's what's going to happen. So maybe if he has Shadow Bolt, he could kill this and get his card and have the best of both worlds, but he never used any Shadow Bolts against the mighty Millhouse, so I figure if he had it, he would have played it. Wow, Murloc World Leader. I feel bad for this guy. This is one of the problems with the game, I feel, is that you get these like really weak epic packs and you're forced to take a 3/3 for 3. That's not very epic. But let's actually go ahead and play this, put an axe into my hand, use the creature himself to kill off his thing, swing with the War Song, and you know, I have another one of these guys, so we're just going to start attacking. It's always fun to try to rush down Warlocks because, you know, their hero ability costs life, and you really should, because if you're not rushing them down, then they're getting cards for free, and that's kind of a problem. So you kind of like have to try to rush down a Warlock when they are life tapping for cards. So I can swing at him again, play another Wrathy Weaponsmith, get another Wax, deal up to 5 damage. This is actually, wow. I'm very fortunate here. He doesn't seem to have good plays. He spent 4 mana playing 2 Chumper Nuggets rather than playing actual good cards, which I'm A-okay with. So, yeah, this looks totally fine. Let's kill the wolf. Play the Weaponsmith again. Kill that guy. And survive. I didn't want to kill either of his creatures with the Warsong Commander because I don't want to put it at 1 health because I don't want him to Mortal Coil it. So for Warlocks, 1 damage point is actually a very significant one. Being at 1 health is not good. Stampeding Kodo. Oh, geez. Well, that's a good way to kill Warsong Commanders. All things considered, it could be worse. I mean, that's fine. I'm alright with that. So I can, these are both 3/1s, huh? I can just do this, and this, and let's put my biggest guy down. It doesn't use up all my mana, but I think that's fine. Hang on to this Execute in case I really need it. I didn't need it against that Kodo, so I'm fine. Now, I could have, I guess, smacked with the axe, Execute, attack for 3, keep a 3/1 on the board, maybe try to rush my opponent down a little bit faster. That possibly would have been a good play to consider as well. If he plays a creature that I can get enraged against, this guy will attack for 4 damage, which is pretty bouse. That actually would have been another play to consider. Attack with my 3/3, Execute, keep 2 charges on this Battle Axe, play the Spiteful Smith, so I had the 1 mana left over, and then hope I can enrage it and get a 4/2 weapon. That would have been an interesting option. Archmage! Alright, well, my opponent might have just forgotten about this guy's ability. So let's see, Heroic Strike doesn't quite do it, so yeah, the way we're going to do it is as follows. We swing. This guy gets pumped. I can attack with my weapon to kill off his creature, which is totally great. Now I have to be careful here. Hellfire kills all my Shiatsicles. So what I'm going to do is play this, and let's just play the Wolf Rider, not this guy. Don't want to lose it to Hellfire. And pass turn. So I've got actually a lot of damage here. I mean, Gorehowl is 7, plus 4 is just 11 damage. With this guy, it's actually 13 damage. Now, I'm 1 mana short of playing them both next turn, but I am very close to being able to kill him. Alright, there's the Hellfire. Look at that pro play by Papa Boris, keeping the Frostwolf Grunt back. Now, I've got 7, plus 4 is 11 damage. I'm 3 damage away from killing him. I just need a little bit more damage. Okay, we're going to actually do this. We're going to draw a card, because I need cards. That's a good one. Alright, so let's put this on the board. Let's hide behind my taunter. No need to execute that. That's fine. So here we go. We're threatening to win the game. We only need to deal 3 damage to my opponent, then we can Gorehowl and Heroic Strike for the win. Saddens me how much I'm using Gorehowl just as a 7 mana, 7 damage spell, so it's kind of like a Pyroblast, sort of, kind of, not really. But even then, let's see, Pyroblast is 10 damage for 8 mana, this is 7 damage for 7 mana, so it's like kind of comparable actually, except you can also like use it to like kill 7 creatures with it. Alright, looks like my opponent hasn't done anything to stop me yet, and that is a stealth, not a taunt, so that's the game. Just enough. Gonna have just enough to kill him. Always look for the win, kids, because, you know, I might actually be in trouble if I didn't kill him right the hell now. Oh, this must be one of the most maddening things for my opponent to watch. I feel bad, but that is the game. Sometimes, you know, you get crushed by ridiculous things like Gorehowl plus Heroic Strike, and sometimes you get to do the crushing. Alright, we're up to 8 wins. Woo! So, now let's move on to my other conversation piece, which I always mention at the 8-win mark, which is, well, I don't really mind if I lose, because then I get the most gold, but at the same time, I'm going to stick around and see if I can get to 9 wins for bragging rights and some cards, because I care about playing in Constructed someday. You could make your own Papa Boris YouTube videos now just by saying all the same stuff that I like to say. Oh my god, he drew a card after playing out all his stuff. What a Sunday afternoon casual player. Man, I'm really good at mocking myself. That should be like a talent. Alright, Gorehowl is great, but it's a little early. I don't want to play this. This is a good card. You know what? Whatever. We'll just send it back. This deck is full of good cards. Let's try to maximize our odds of getting some early drops here. Okay, well, one of the Arathi Weaponsmiths came back, either the original or her twin. That's okay. We're up against Tuco the Rogue. God, this name is familiar, but I don't know that I've played against him or her. What are we doing with our lives here? Well, apparently nothing on turn 2, except for armoring, and then Immaster on turn 3. Might be killing something with the Rogue Strike. Nope, looks like the Rogue's gonna start the beats. No need to coin at all, unless I draw a card that is significant. Oh, actually, alright, I'll coin. Let's start our Imp collection. This is very annoying for Rogues to deal with, because of course you can dagger up the Imps, but this thing makes more Imps than you can kill with a single dagger, so it's kind of frustrating. So we're starting the Imp collection here. It's also nice, I'd like to get this Imp Master onto the board, have her do her thing and be gone, because it is a non-bow with Whirlwind. The Whirlwind kills off all the Imps. So it's nice to have it, you know, do its job and go home. Now, smacking the Imp Master, I believe, is a mistake, because basically what you're doing is you're reducing the number of Imps it will eventually produce by 1. But it's better just to kill the Imp that's already on the board. You end up taking a little bit less damage that way. So I might be wrong, I might have like miscalculated here, but I think that that's just mathematically superior to kill the Imps rather than damaging the Imp Master. You take a damage from the hit when you use the dagger, but then you take less damage from the thing. Ah, he wanted to get more Imps on the board, so Fan of Knives would be more epic. Fair play, sir. I stand entirely corrected. That was very well done. It was a good Fan of Knives. Oh, and he even gets to charge with a weapon equipped and kill off my creature. Look at that. Alright, well, he's at 26, I'm at 29, so we're about even there. I don't need a weapon yet, so let's go ahead and Silver Moon Guardian it up. It's nice I've got this Heroic Strike, so I can like play this later turn, make a weapon, and swing for 6 damage, which could be useful. My opponent likely will not see that coming. But I'd like to actually play the Gurubashi Berserker. It's a bit resilient to Rogue's removal. They can assassinate it, but their, you know, backstabs, eviscerates don't quite deal enough damage. Acolyte of Pain! Alright, he's going to draw a card. I will pop the Divine Shield against that, I think. Let's think. If I play the Gurubashi, you can actually get 2 cards out of this Acolyte. Yeah, we're going to pop the Divine Shield, kill it, let him draw a card off of it. And actually, onto this empty board, I will play the Silverhand Knight. It's putting out more immediate power than the Gurubashi does. So we're going to keep it here. Now, of course, my opponent could, like, backstab, eviscerate, whatever. But I'm okay with those risks. This is a lot of divided power, and I'm happy to have it here. Archer Commander, very good card, although it's killing really just half of the card. And then half of this card is going to finish it off, because this already had a Divine Shield that did some work. Now, I could play Arathi Weaponsmith plus Heroic Strike and kill it that way as well. That looks really good. We're going to do that. We're going to try to keep as much creatures on the board as we can. 5 damage is no laughing matter, that we're dealing to my opponent. So we're keeping even here. I just took 4 damage killing it. But I've got a weapon back here. I've got execute, so I can smack something execute if need be. I've got armor, and the rogue does not. So really, the rogue has card advantage. And so it's just a matter of whether the rogue can actually ride the card advantage out to a victory here. Swamp Ooze, no! That's annoying. And Whirlwind doesn't quite kill these things. Whirlwind Execute seems weak against those cards, too. Ah, this is perfect. Alright, we're going to play this thing. Going to armor up. And we're just going to swing past. So my opponent, of course, could have like an Assassinate or a Silence or something, and then trade profitably with my other creatures. But if my opponent doesn't have those answers, he's in serious trouble. Actually, Assassinate, what am I talking about? Assassinate's terrible. It kills both of his creatures. Yeah, he has to have a Silence here. He's got to have Silence. All you need is silence. Do. All you need is silence, but silence is kind of rare in this game, so you're just going to do that. Alright, fair enough, sir. That was a really good song. Perdition's Blade up. Good answer. Very good answer. He gets to kill both my creatures. It's getting a little low on life. If I can find that Gorehowl here, I'd be in pretty good shape. Leper Gnome, huh? Alright. Alright. He just pointed something at me. What is that, a Sinister Strike? Oh, I think he's got a Sinister Strike. Alright, what we're going to do is drop a Gurubashi and armor up. I'm not going to Whirlwind just yet. I don't want to give away my Trixie Dixies. So we're going to pass the turn here. See what my opponent wants to do. This is a bit of a difficult thing for him to deal with. Assassinate would really be the best. Motherfucker, that came out very quick. You just knew it was an Assassinate. Fuck! I was really hoping he'd play a creature. I could Whirlwind, kill the Leper Gnome, assassinate the creature, and then swing with my... And then my Gurubashi would get enraged. It was going to be glorious! Well, such is not to be. Let's just hope he doesn't have a second Assassinate. Hang on a minute. I could actually wait a turn, play this, swing for 6... get him down to 4 life, and then I'm within burning range. Alright, we're going to do that, because honestly, the odds of him having more Assassinates here are too high for my liking, so we're just going to pass the turn here. I could Whirlwind kill this thing off, and my life total is not low enough for me to care about it. I could play the Owl and silence it, but it would just maybe die to the dagger, although he's getting kind of low on life. You know what we're going to do is we're going to actually play this Owl, and the idea here is that it's putting a creature onto the board, and, you know, he might, like, trade his Leper Gnome into it or whatever. But he might not. He might choose to just try to kill it some other way, and I could maybe bait some removal, like a Shib or something. Alright, Argent Commander. I'm happy to see that, because it doesn't have Taunt. Bolt's Raider, happy to see that. And he's going to kill the Owl. Shucks. Shucks-a-daisy here. Alright, I'm down to 17. He could hit me for 7, 8. It's not enough to kill me. This is getting very tense. Gorehowl. Oh, gosh. Well... I can't kill my opponent because I don't have any cheap creatures. I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to go for it. Yes, my opponent has lots of cards. Yes, he might be able to just kill me next turn. But, man, if he doesn't, I win. Let's think. 4, 7, 8. I'm down to 9 health. He's got 5 cards, 10 mana. Needs to deal 9 damage. It's possible. He could have, like, Cold Blood, Sinister Strike, Eviscerate. But you know what? Screw all that noise. I think my best chances of winning are this. So basically, if he doesn't have the kill, he has to deal with my stuff. He's got another Assassinate. See, there we go. Actually, I think that was just top-decked. He's spending time to kill my creature, so obviously he does not have the kill. And then if he doesn't play a taunt, I have Gorehowl. I can actually Whirlwind execute his taunter, and then Gorehowl, and then kill him. So I'd actually hope he plays a taunt. It would be so great. It would be so great if he played a taunt, and I could do that epic play, but no. Alright, well, my opponent's about to be very sad. Because I'm once again gonna... what do you call this? Gyroblast? I think we call that a Gyroblast. It's a Gorehowl Pyroblast. Or maybe a Pyrohowl. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna Pyrohowl my... No, that's actually kind of hard to say. I don't like Gyro because it's not a guy word. It's Gore. Goreblast? Goreblast sounds like the guy from Mortal Kombat. That's pretty good. Goreblast. You know what? No, you know what? Gyroblast. It rolls off the tongue, bitches. Okay, anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please like and or subscribe. And we'll see you next time. And if you just can't get enough Papa Boris, it's time to have... I don't know what I call this little segment at the end where I show the prizes and open the pack. I need to come up with like some kind of a name for it. We'll call it like Papa Boris's Candy Van. Okay, no, that sounds like I'm just killing children. Papa Boris's Treat Time. No, now everything I say just sounds like I'm a child rapist. Okay, we'll come up with a name for it later. Alright, this is a great pack here. 230 gold is totally fine. And 2 packs. Woo! So, we have paid for the next arena and then some. Let's see what our 2 packs are. I noticed one thing about opening packs. Like, I've opened, like, let's see, I've played in about, let me just do a quick count here. Almost 70 arenas. So I've opened, like, 70 packs and change, because you get those packs for the achievements. And then you also get, you know, the double packs, which I've had a number of times. It actually gets less fun the more packs you have, because, like, the more often it is that the commons that you get are doubles. Like I just opened 3 Wraths. So, you know, it's a little bit frustrating that you're opening so many doubles, and then you just go in and you turn it all to dust. So in those 2 packs, 4 of the cards I drew were doublets. But anyway, I guess some of them were new, which is great, and all the rares were new, which is nice. Here's our sneak peek for the next arena. Finally, no warrior. Good, I don't have to play warrior anymore. This druid, motherfucking hanging in there for like 6 arenas in a row, but no, I still don't want to play druid. We'll be doing a warlock or a priest next run. Whether or not it gets recorded remains to be seen, but thank you folks for sticking around to the end of Papa Boris's happy bonus hour. Bonus. We'll see you next time for some more Hearthstone arena action.